Stand by Sting to Sept and A with music. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sting, track A.
Up at 6, a 79-year-old man and his daughter
Stand by Flash to B
investigate
with
a giant
the
pile
mic.
of garbage in their yard. Where that investigation has led, that's coming up.
And Flash to B, Mike Sept.
A family in Post Falls is
Stand by
mourning
Flash
the
to the
loss of
tie.
their dog,
Stand
but
by
they
to
say
warn
someone
them.
poisoned him on purpose. Victor Korea has the details.
Flash to Patch.
And domestic violence and topic
Stand by
many
opening
are
BB1.
talking about after NFL player Ray Rice is caught on camera hitting his now wife. We have domestic violence experts in our Connect Center taking your questions or concerns. Give them a call right now at 509-443-1111. KHQ
Track
Local
BB1.
News at 6 starts right now.
And take BB1. Flip their mic. Stand by Cold Stop Bow and A.
Watch KHQ app. This is KHQ.
Track A
Local
full
News at
and
6.
take it.
I'm watching somebody kill his wife. I don't know what he's gonna do to me.
Mike,
Those are the
stand by your
chilling
bump.
words of David Stone, the key witness in the Charles Capone trial, said while he was on the stand in court today.
And start
It
your
is
move.
day 5 of the
Resolve.
trial, and each
Stand by
day the
two
picture
shot on
of what
cam
may
one.
happened to Rachel Anderson is becoming clear.
And resolve. 2 shot on cam
For
1.
KHQ Local News at 6, I'm Dan Clark.
And I'm
Stand by
Stephanie
Sting
Mitchell.
to
The body
Pack
of Rachel
in B.
Anderson, Capone's ex-wife, has never been found. But today we learned more about what may have happened after her murder and where Stone says he and Capone dumped her body.
KHQ Local News reporter
Track
Bill
B.
Morehouse was in the courtroom today. He joins us now with more of Stone's testimony.
And effective B sound full. Clip their mic.
Well, this entire case is built around one man, essentially, David Stone, and his statements. And without some of his statements to detectives, they may have not been able to find an accurate search area to search
put it.
Rachel Anderson's body. And he has given more details today than we have ever heard in 4 years.
Here, raise your right hand and be sworn, please.
David Stone and Charles Capone were friends long before detectives say Rachel Anderson was murdered. Stone claims he witnessed the entire killing.
Charles was on top of Rachel, strangling her.
Stone says he witnessed the murder outside Capone's
90.
Moscow repair shop.
Had a look
Next
in
will be
his
Dan
face
on
that
cam
I could
3.
describe as Satan.
Prosecutor Bill Thompson asked why he didn't intervene. Stone said he was scared.
Fear?
What were you afraid of?
I'm watching somebody kill his wife. I don't know what he's gonna do to me.
He says he and Capone wrapped up Anderson's body with chains and a tarp, then put her in the back of Stone's Durango and drove her to Clarkston. He also became emotional today when he explained what they did next.
Got out, opened the hatch. We pulled Rachel out.
Okay, there's a little under a minute left in this pack. Next will be Sting to Dan on cam 3.
Threw her over her side.
Stone admitted that he lied to
She should be on
investigators
IFC
several
5.
times before and after his arrest, all of it because he said he was scared.
And
Something
Sheridan is coming
defense
up
attorneys
pretty quick here,
exploited,
guys.
painting Stone as a habitual liar, and his confession could possibly be made up.
You didn't have any knowledge of that, is that correct?
I've lied about a lot of things, Mr. Barker.
Once a liar who
30
now
in
claims
pack.
to be telling the truth of an awful story and a murdered mother 4 years ago.
Now, the trial will begin again right here at the Latah County Courthouse tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
Somebody sing to Dan on 3.
Stone will again be on the stand. And also, Charles Capone says he wants to talk, so it's possible he may testify later in this trial in Moscow tonight. Dylan Wollenhouse, KHQ.
Mike, Dan, and
Bill,
Sting
thank
cam
you.
3.
Domestic violence is at the forefront of many people's minds as the outrage
Stand by
surrounding
VO
Ray Rice
in
continues.
A.
Just a warning, what you're about to see is graphic.
Take A.
In this surveillance video, you can see the former NFL player
Stand by to
knocking
poll
his
for
then
social
fiancee
storm.
unconscious in an elevator. Well, yesterday, that video got Ray Rice suspended from playing pro football. Now the victim of that attack, Rice's current wife, is speaking out on social media.
And
Janae
social
Rice
storm.
is directing her
Stand by
anger
Stott
at
and
both
B
the
next.
public and media, saying, quote, "What don't y'all get? If your intentions were to hurt us, embarrass us, make us feel alone, take all happiness away, you've succeeded on so many levels," end quote. Despite the plea for privacy, people continue talking about the incident, and many are critical of the NFL and Baltimore Ravens for only taking action
Track
once
B.
the video came to light.
And effective B sound full.
When the video was out there and saw how brutal it was, the Ravens did the right thing, fired him immediately. Now you can argue
Stand by Sting to
they
Steph
should
on
have
cam
done it
1.
sooner, they didn't want it. Whatever the reason is, it's happening.
And Mike and Sting.
Well, domestic violence has long been an issue in reality
Stand by
and in
the
the
bump
NFL,
next.
even before this latest case with Ray
We'll be going
Rice.
to Cherson on
We
the
looked
patch
into it
cam.
today and found out that since 2000, there have been more than 80 players arrested for domestic violence. Many of them continue to play for NFL teams. If there's any good that can come out of this situation, it's that people are finally
Stand by the
talking
bump.
about domestic
And
violence.
start your move.
That's why we have
Resolve.
experts in our Connect Center
Stand by
answering
Cherson
your
on the
questions.
tie.
Kirsten Bell is talking to them right now. Kirsten.
And Mike
And right
Cherson
now,
on
the
her.
phone lines are open at 443-1111. We're joined with the women here of the YWCA and the Women Healing and Empowerment Network.
Okay,
This
yeah,
has
next will be
really
Sting to Dan on
exploded
cam 1
social
for hitting our
media.
key, and
Everyone is
Steph can
talking about this
move
video.
to the
What kind of
plasma.
reaction are we seeing here in the Inland Northwest?
The reaction really is twofold. We're seeing many people coming out and breaking the silence, talking about their stories
And
as
Leslie will be at the
survivors, you know, as victims. But we're also seeing a lot of societal victim blaming, and that's really unfortunate and really scary. Part of the reason why victims stay in these situations
down
is
on one a little
because
bit.
they're
Yeah, you did.
already
Right,
blamed.
right.
And
Nice.
so heaping society upon
Thank
that
you.
is not going to help them get out. Really supporting people, believing their stories is what's going to help them leave when the time comes.
All right, thank you so much for taking the
Stand by
calls
Sting to
tonight. And I
Dan
think the
on
key here
cam
tonight is
1.
ending that silence. 443-1111. I'm Kirsten Bell in the Connect Center. Tonight, we're going to send it on back to you.
Mike Dan Sting, Clip Cherson.
Kirsten, thank you. Turning our attention to the weather right now. The sun still shining above downtown Spokane tonight. Another beautiful day
Stand by
here in the
Splits
Inland
with Leslie.
Northwest. Let's check
Pan a
in
little
with
right
Leslie.
on
She's
cam
in the
1,
Weather
guys.
Center with the first look at your forecast.
And dissolving
Leslie.
splits,
Hi,
Mike
Dan.
Leslie.
You know,
Hold
it
your
is,
shot
it's
there. That
beautiful
was good.
out there.
Thank you.
However,
And
we've
on
got a
Leslie
little
Fault.
hint of fall because those temperatures are starting to drop, especially in the overnight hours. And as we take a look at our satellite radar, we've got a few high clouds out there, and we'll look for
Thanks, guys. These are
partly to
total
mostly
crap down
clear
there.
skies
Go back.
overnight tonight.
Well,
And that
we got
means
it.
areas across the northern
Cam 2
panhandle
needs
into
to
the northeast mountains.
truck
Some of
left
those
just a
pocket
little
valley
bit.
communities could see temperatures hover just at freezing or a little bit above. So if you are one of those around Northport, Kettle Falls, Ione, all the way over into Bonners Ferry, and you've got plants and or a garden still going, make sure you get out there and cover those up for tonight. Better
Stand by
safe
Sting to
than
Steph on
sorry.
cam
Our
2.
current temperature in
And then
Spokane,
we'll be going to
72 degrees.
Gabe
That
on
just
remote
dropped.
5.
We've got winds from the west at 15 miles per hour. So a little bit breezy out there. And as we head through the evening, we'll see those temperatures, especially after the sun sets at 7:14 tonight, drop quickly. In fact, by 8 o'clock, 66 degrees. Steph, by 10 o'clock, 62 degrees,
stand
with
by
overnight
Steph on
lows
cam
that will
2.
hover in the upper 40s. We'll talk more about that, as well as a pretty big cool down on the way when we see you back here in just
Mike
a few
Steph
minutes.
and
Leslie,
Sting,
thank
Clip
you.
Leslie.
Well, illegal dumping is a big issue in Spokane County, so much so
Stand by
that
to
if you're
dissolve the
caught
Gabe in
doing
the
it, you
plasma,
could
and then
receive a
we'll go to him
$1,000
live on
fine
remote 5.
or 90 days in jail. So it's a dangerous game to dump your waste on someone else's property.
And
KHQ's
in
Gabe
it.
Cohen learned more about that today. And
Stand by
Gabe,
Sting to
you
Gabe
spoke
on
with a
remote
family
5.
that took the investigation into their own
And
hands.
Sting, Mike remote 5, Clip Steph.
That's absolutely right, Steph, and their keen eye helped identify a suspect who could be facing charges very soon.
Packing A, track A full, and take it.
One morning in late July, Larry Musey was on a slow stroll through his yard.
Thanks for all the moves out there,
That's
guys.
when
It all
he
looks
discovered
good.
this.
It was all piled up here like that.
A big pile of trash left for this
Cable
79-year-old
toss
to take
back
care
to the
of.
anchors
I
on
just wonder
set,
what the
2 shot
heck's
on
going
cam
on.
1.
It's just disparaging because I only rent this place.
Yes, you can.
Larry and his daughter
839
Tammy
is
called
out.
City Code Enforcement.
Who hauls it away or who pays for it? And she says, you do. And I said, I just rent this place. I can't afford to pay someone to come out here and pick it all up.
So the two did a little digging of their own and found a piece of mail in the pile with a name and an address.
I'm thinking, okay, if you're going to dump garbage on someone else's property, probably shouldn't put your mail in it with your address and your name.
The letter they found brought Tammy, Larry's daughter, here to this house just a couple miles away from theirs. But what she found when she arrived was that no one lives
I'll
here
take a look
any
in a
longer, a
second.
dead end to their investigation.
Well, they got free dumping.
A month and a half later, Larry is still stuck with the filth.
I just hope we
They
can
didn't have any
find somebody to
super
haul it
kids in
out of
there.
here or take care of it.
Code enforcement says they
yeah,
have
Patch will be
located
taking
a
in
suspect,
pieces, guys,
but they
but
won't
do
prosecute
that.
without consent from the Museys.
I guess we haven't decided
Stand
whether
by,
we want to
there's
prosecute
5
them. It's
left
kind of
in the
scary to
pack.
me. Whoever dumped it needs to be responsible and come and get it out of here.
Mike Gabe dissolve.
And if you're worried about somebody illegally dumping trash on your property, the city of
Stand by the anchors
Spokane
on cam
has some
1 with
recommendations
music.
for you. First off, increase visibility on your property. That means putting up lights, even just opening the curtains, making it look like someone is always home, and then putting up barriers, whether it's fencing around your whole property or even just putting up some rocks so that cars can't get near, and then signs implying surveillance. That should deter those dumpers from dumping trash on your property. Reporting live tonight, Gabe Cohen, KHQ Local News.
Thank you. Still ahead here at 6 o'clock, a family lost both of their dogs. The vet says it was poison. The family thinks it was done on purpose. Stick around for this story.
And stand by the patch cam.
Plus, we have experts on domestic violence answering your questions throughout our newscast. Give us a call at 509-443-1111. We'll have weather when we come back.
And track BB1, clip their mics, music full, stand by break. And roll break, stay flat. Thanks guys, great A block.